Hello everyone, Kevin from KTech Services, back again for another educational digitizing video. I'm currently working with Design Shop version 12 Professional. For this video, you're going to at least need Professional or Vector to be able to do this. Um, this video is, I had the customer ask me like, oh, hey, I need text, but like a two-color, but just a two-color outline, and I need the inside to be negative space, the color of the shirt. Um, you know, I'm getting, could I possibly do that myself instead of sending that out? And I said, well, I asked him what level, and of course, obviously, he had professional. And I said, yeah, for sure. I mean, the quickest way that I kind of do that stuff is from either CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator, so I could set up the artwork. And he's like, well, yeah, I use that. And now this video is going to be with CorelDRAW. I'll have a second video that how to do this in Illustrator, but this one's going to be for CorelDRAW. So um, let's get started how to do this. Basically, again, it's just like, I'll just do one-to-one here, and it's just like doing it on a polo shirt for a customer's name or customer's company's name and stuff like that. But the customer wanted it to be kind of just an outline sketch, but the negative, the color of the shirt. Okay, so let's get started. So bounce over to CorelDRAW here, and this obviously I did the text, and then yeah, you have to do some conversion to get it into the code, if you want to call it that. So when you import over the artwork, Design Shop likes it. Okay, so let's get started on this. So I'm just going to do a file and a new, and how to set up the artwork here. So I'm going to just click on the letter A, and then I'm just going to start typing in my company name. Okay, and oh, let's see. I want that to be at least 3 inches across. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So if we're looking at this and we zoom in, okay, so we have one color typed out in Arial right now. Okay. And again, okay, so over here on the right hand side, I have my toolbar kind of set up a little. Now, of course, obviously you're going to have yours will be different, but hopefully you can follow along and just kind of see the steps that I do to make this work, and then what toolbars or stuff you need to turn on actually to do this properly. Okay, so obviously I'm in the object property box right now, and then obviously I'm in lettering element. Okay, that's what it's actually indicated. Now, if I try to copy and paste this and import this over to Design Shop, it will not import or at all. Because it won't accept this language, okay, or this code. So we have to kind of do a couple of steps to get it into the language that Design Shop likes it to able to import over into Design Shop. Okay. All right. So couple of things. Oh, so we need to do an outline here. So first I'm going to do is go over to properties, and then I am going to come over to now. I could go. First thing we're going to do is at the outline. That's this bottom one right here, and I'm just going to make that 3 points, and so that's actually going to do a little bit fatter in a sense. And then I don't want the uniform color, so you can either go to the color wheel and turn it off there, um, or you can come over here and there's obviously a couple different ways to turn that off. Okay, so we just want the outline, so we're looking good there, so I'm just going to zoom in. Now I am going to kern that a little bit. I'm going to do the edit tool. I'm going to select this. Now I can move it by mouse, or I can actually move it by keyboard. I'm just going to move it over 2 points. Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. All right, and okay, right now, we're in straight mode and stuff like that, and of course, obviously, and all the other letters work pretty good of all of the straights that it did, but this one K here kind of chop off. Now, that's not such a big deal. Design Shop's kind of not going to care about that, but let's say I wanted it to be rounded, so you could do that. You can go over here to the three dots. It's kind of the quickest way I found it, and then it'll pop up the outline pen tool, and you'll kind of see that I could change it to a round. See, watch this right here. I'll click on that, and it turns all the corners into rounded. Okay, so now granted, for the size that we're doing it at, it isn't going to be such a big deal, but it's more if you were going to do this bigger or something like that. I don't know, but it's an option for you. So we'll leave that. You'll see how that transforms over when we bring it over to Design Shop. Okay, we're done with that. Now, obviously, we have it selected. Now, Grant, I'm going to flip back to the object. Now, of course, we're still in lettering element mode, so we need to get it out of that. So I know this is this is kind of late, but it's a three-part thing that we have to do to get it into the language or code that it's actually going to import over into Design Shop. Okay, so we go to layout, oops, sorry, object, sorry, my apologies, object. And then the first thing we're gonna do is go break apart. Okay, so now if you look over here, it actually will actually do each individual letter, okay, because I broke it apart. Now it's out of lettering element, okay. Now it's backwards, okay, because it's going HCETK. That's okay. You know, Corel's kind of weird when they transfer stuff, so that's exactly how we want it. But I'll draw an imaginary box. That's how I do a select all. So you can do it however you like. Now you go back to object again, and then we look for convert to curves. Boom. Okay, and then okay, keep that highlighted. That's fine. One more time, object, and then convert outline to object. Okay, and now it's in the mode. So now we could do an edit and copy or Control C on your keyboard of Windows. And now, so it's okay. We're ready to go. Now we can flip over back to Design Shop. Let me do a new. Now we're able to. We could copy and paste this, or you could save it. Into a file if you need to be, but make sure you do Adobe version 8 AI. That's how I import stuff over. But in this case, I'm just going to do a Control V, which pastes it into Design Shop just fine. And I'm going to do a center, and then I'm just going to look. So I'm going to zoom in on this, and see what when we did the curve. Look how beautiful that is. Boom, boom, boom. So so what we're going to do now, and everything looks good. I'm going to, and it's actually going to put it in order as KTech, even though it was backwards in Corel, but that's just how Corel imports it over. It's weird. Okay, so I'm just going to select the vector list, and then I'm going to do convert, and voila. And turn off that, and look, and then there we go. All right, and I'm just going to change the color, and now, no, okay, in auto digitizing, it always will go the closest point. Now, granted, this is actually this will be good because it'll eliminate trims, but because it's going on a polo shirt, you can get away with this. Now, granted, if you're doing a jacket back or something like that, and if you don't want it to close point, you want it to trim, so you can highlight each letter and then change the X or the stop point because that's always going to, again, make sure you always pay attention to the cursor change, okay? Because now I'm on that node and okay, I want it to stop over here. And then I can click over the T and make sure I'm on that X, and then I want it to end there. This is only if it was bigger, or if I don't want the crossover stitches. Okay, so then you have to go through this and change the endpoint. Okay, that's what you have to do. Okay, so it doesn't cross over. Okay, if you don't want that. Now this will trim between each letter now and stuff like that. So, okay, so it's okay. So one more thing here. Obviously, it's in auto processing mode, or auto did and usually that's way too low for a lot of things. So I unchecked this. This is just where I kind of do my little tweaking. I use 85 to 90, and I turn that off. I turn fill parameter on there. Underlay, I do undo this. I that's my pet peeve there. Since this is small, a walk stitch center walk is just fine. I wouldn't do a zigzag; it's too small. Now, granted, if I was doing more of a jacket, a more bigger size, then I probably would do a zigzag on the secondary, okay, but I won't here. Compensation. Right now, the two things I do there, and I wanted to show you real quick. Here, properties. Okay, so on conversation. So I would say right default on auto digitizing is 2. Now I could do. I see now 4 is a little. Not it's a little too much. Remember, whatever you see is going to be 1 to 1.5 times less because of pull compensation. So 3 should be probably good. And then I always do at least a minimum of 8. I don't, 5 is too low. And then apply. Okay, and that's how I would set this up. Automatic loss stitches should be turned on, and this is actually now it's actually ready to sew out. And then I would save it, and then I would sew it out, and see if it actually if I need to do any more tweaks to it and stuff. But there you go. That's how simple it is. Didn't take very long to do, get the artwork. I always feel the artwork side is always going to be better than trying to manipulate a font or something like that in Design Shop. But there you go. I appreciate you for stopping by. Please give me a thumbs up, get a follow, and we'll see you on the next video.